Thanks for watching Endgame Economics. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. It's completely free for you, and it helps us continue making more videos like this.
Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something absolutely fascinating. Look, we aren't here to talk about heroes or villains, right? Instead, we're going to look at one of the most famous people on the internet, Logan Paul, strictly as a clinical case study of the modern attention economy. We're going to unpack exactly how internet fame works, not just on a cultural level, but literally on a biological one.
Because here's the thing, human beings were never designed to be watched by millions of people every single day, period. But the internet completely mutated that reality overnight. Think about how fame used to work. It belonged to this very specific, carefully guarded broadcast model. Movie stars, pro athletes, musicians. There was a massive barrier to entry involving studios, agents, and auditions, the whole shebang. Now, that entire system has been bypassed. A single viral video shot by a teenager in their bedroom holding an iPhone can transform an ordinary person into a global obsession almost instantly. We're looking at a highly interactive, ruthless machine that mutated fame into something completely unprecedented. Which brings us to our core premise today. Logan Paul didn't just casually step into a spotlight. He became a product of the algorithm itself, physically and psychologically rewired by constant digital attention.
Section 1. The mutation of fame, becoming the algorithm.
Section 2. The mechanism. Dopamine and escalation.
Okay, let's dive into this mechanism. How does this rewiring actually happen? Well, it really comes down to basic human biology reacting to engineered digital systems. You post a piece of content. Suddenly hundreds, maybe thousands of people validate you. Every single like, every piece of praise triggers a tiny dopamine response inside the brain. It's a micro-emotional high. But here's where the danger really starts. At step 3, reality completely flattens out. As your brain adapts to that massive flood of digital stimulation, ordinary, everyday life, eating breakfast, walking the dog, sitting in traffic, it all begins to feel incredibly gray and boring. Your brain desperately wants that high again. So, to feel it, you reach step 4, escalating the stunts. You don't just film a quiet vlog anymore. You've got to jump off a roof or incite a massive public spectacle. Social media platforms learned exactly how to exploit this system perfectly. They push creators into pushing boundaries, demanding bigger emotions, bigger risks, and louder chaos.
Because in this ecosystem, online attention literally equals survival. Logan Paul's rise perfectly coincided with the exact moment internet platforms became optimized for maximum, relentless engagement. Fast editing, constant stimulation, loud reactions. As those digital rewards grow to astronomical levels, ordinary, quiet, everyday life just begins to feel inherently harder and much slower.
Section 3. The psychological toll, permanence, and volatility.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer psychological whiplash it shows. To understand this, we have to look at the emotional extremes of this ecosystem with a completely neutral, anthropological lens. Imagine the swing here. On one side, you have thousands of people screaming your name, massive crowds pushing against barricades, flashing cameras, an absolute hurricane of extreme praise. It is intoxicating. But then, the event ends, the camera turns off, the entourage leaves, and suddenly you are met with complete isolation. Just the sudden, deafening silence of a hotel room and the low hum of the mini-fridge. It's a violent transition from being the absolute center of the universe to sitting completely alone in the dark, knowing the digital machine is just out there waiting for your next move.
And because the brain is so desperate to adapt to this stimulation, the creator has to constantly escalate. They need more controversy, bigger stunts, and louder reactions just to feel that baseline excitement again. The internet relentlessly rewards people for pushing these extreme boundaries, until eventually the boundary between authentic behavior and performance completely collapses. Really think about how profoundly exhausting that is, when you can never simply turn off, when you can no longer tell where the real human being ends and the internet persona begins.
So the absolutely crucial point here is permanence. Fame existed before the internet, for sure, but digital fame changed one terrifying thing. Mistakes no longer disappear. The internet never forgets. Every controversy, every failure, every deeply personal public humiliation is permanently archived, instantly searchable, and held against you forever. Logan Paul experienced this very, very publicly. And honestly, the scariest part of this ecosystem is the sheer speed of the whiplash. Internet audiences can shift from intense admiration to intense outrage in a matter of seconds. It creates incredibly unstable psychological conditions. You're constantly bracing for impact, dealing with extreme praise, extreme criticism, and extreme visibility, all hitting you at the exact same time.
Section 4. The Adaptation. Algorithmic Survival.
And this brilliantly illustrates an incredibly uncomfortable realization that many creators eventually face. Internet fame alone is inherently fragile. Algorithms change their secret rules. Audiences get bored and move on. Trends die in a matter of days. To survive, you simply cannot stay the same. You see a relentless string of pivots, businesses, podcasts, boxing matches, energy drinks, massive branding empires. Logan Paul transformed himself repeatedly just to survive the attention economy. These aren't just random side quests, right? They are deliberate strategies to cross-pollinate audiences and keep the algorithm fed. You either become an omnipresent brand, or you completely disappear.
Which brings us to a vital definition to really anchor our understanding here: the algorithmic character. This is the blending of a real person and a digital performance created through constant adaptation to survive the attention economy. The internet actively rewards this kind of extreme adaptability, but psychologically speaking, constantly reshaping your own identity, endlessly reinventing who you are just to appease lines of code, becomes deeply, profoundly exhausting. Imagine having to constantly test out new personalities just to keep your job. Beneath the massive branding empires, there is still just a human brain desperately trying to keep up. You become both human and performance at the exact same time.
Let's move to Section 5. The Reveal. The Mirror. And let's see how this builds.
And to something much, much bigger. Because while Logan Paul is an extreme example, he represents something larger. He might actually represent the very first generation of humans psychologically engineered by algorithms in real time, raised on constant visibility and constant performance. But you know what the strangest and most unsettling part of this entire transformation is? It's no longer limited to celebrities. We all trapped in these exact same dopamine loops every single day. The notifications, the validation, the attention, the followers, the endless pursuit of virality. Think about it. We check our phones the second we wake up. We wait for that like. We crave the digital validation just as much as the people we watch on our screens.
The internet didn't just change the way we communicate with each other, it fundamentally changed human psychology itself. It turned the focus inward, on our own digital habits. So maybe the real question we should be asking isn't what happened to Logan Paul. Actually, scratch that. The real question we need to ask is, what is this system slowly doing to all of us?
I want to leave you with this final, lingering thought. Really think about your own daily habits. The apps you open first thing in the morning, the subconscious way you reach into your pocket for your phone just to feel connected, that tiny little rush you get when someone comments on your post. Do you control the algorithm, or does it control you? Take that question with you today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.